Welcome to A Couple's Thing TV.
Where we touch on a couple of things. On today's episode,
we're going to be touching on how to communicate.
no, look, this. I'm playing director right now. How do you
Communicate. Communication is not only about asking how the person day went.
or what they ate for lunch,
It's about asking open-ended questions.
or simply picking up on verbal cues? It's good. Hi, honey.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm good.
You like this confessions, little confession room situation, reality TV style?
Sure.
All right.
Lights like first 48.
All right, let's jump right in. So on this episode, we're obviously talking about communication.
Sure.
So the main question that I want to start with is, do you feel that you grew up in a household where communication was very present? And how has it built you as a person?
Yes and no. Yes, because I grew up in a household where I feel like I could talk to my mother about everything, but kind of couldn't talk to my father about everything just for like that fear, that daddy fear, just to not get in trouble. But I could tell my mom all the things, like first girlfriends and even drinking and shit like that, first time, just real honest shit.
And how do you feel that trickled into your relationships as you were growing up?
I guess I really don't lie. I'm not ashamed to say anything, put it that way. I'm not ashamed to say anything. I really don't lie. I'm really honest just because I come from a household that nobody bites their tongue.
Okay, and do you feel like you're a good communicator?
Yes and no. I know I could get better. I know I get quiet a lot. I know I don't strike up any conversations, or I'm not the one to say let's go for a walk just to talk. I could get stuck in my ways and just coming home, turn on the TV, how's your day, and the little bullshit conversations, or just on the surface conversations.
Ha. So how do you feel that you are now in our relationship, in our marriage?
Well, I'm aware of that now, so I try to stay away from it. Of course, there's some days where you just want to come home from work and just do that. That's fine. We just can't do it every day. More listening, hearing you out, than building a case of in my head instead of listening to you. Some people you build a case of your rebuttal instead of listening. So I'm trying to work on more listening, taking it all in, instead of just building a case to try to combat either
what's being
the
said
argument being said or even the criticism that you might have towards me.
Makes sense.
Working on it. Definitely not good yet. Hello, wife.
Hello, husband.
I got some questions about communication right now.
Okay.
All right. How was your communication within your household that helped mold you to communication and like relationships, or as an adult?
Let me start that over. No. In my household, it was only my mom and I, and we had a really great bond together. So I always felt that it was okay for me to say however I feel, and she always wanted me to think for myself. So I never really had an issue with that, but I always held back a lot when I was younger. There were things that I didn't want to say to people. There were things I didn't even want to communicate if they hurt me, So I think I wasn't really good at it, if I'm being honest. I thought I was good at it, but I wasn't.
How do you think you progressed within the years? Any past relationships like you're bad at with the communication?
I thought I was
current relationships,
so
you think you're good or getting better?
Honestly, in all of my past relationships, I was a sack of shit. As a communicator, I over-communicated, and I still do that sometimes. And I don't know if it's something to do with like past traumas or whatever, but I didn't know how to communicate. Sometimes I would get so upset, I would throw things, I would like smash walls. That was my frustration. I couldn't control a topic, if that makes sense. So I would get frustrated and act out. it wasn't until maybe I hit 30 years old where I decided I need to start listening and treating people the way they want to be treated. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Also, you said something that was really important. It's all about listening to understand and not to respond. And I used to have a problem with answering right back because I was thinking of a rebuttal in my head the whole time. Just exactly what you said, which is so crazy. That's it.
Let's see. Do you think you still communicate off of emotions, or you try to work on getting the emotions, stepping away from the emotions and just communicating with your thoughts in mind?
Honestly, I have been practicing being more rational and taking time with my thoughts, because a lot of times I feel we do things just out of like the moment, and your emotions, they wither down after a while. So sometimes taking a day or two or a month or two is necessary for growth.
Something brewing. Shit.
Yeah, it helps me to be more strategic, because I feel like I can then build a case. I am a mental lawyer, and I feel that if you're going to come to someone with a situation, you have to be able to back it up and fight fact with fact and not opinion. And yeah, I think I've gotten much better, to be honest. I'm still a work in progress, but I've gotten better. Question for you, honey. What do you feel will make you a better communicator? And I don't mean only in our marriage. I mean with everyone, with friends and family, and also just for yourself.
Just always saying what's on my mind. Always listening. Make sure that I'm communicating my thoughts and my feelings at the same time. Because your thoughts and your feelings could be two separate things. Just making sure you get it all together and make sure it comes out properly. All right, honey.
Yes.
What do you feel will make you a better communicator?
Not overthinking and not repeating myself. I sometimes tend to kind of state my case in different forms because I feel as though the person that I'm speaking to doesn't understand me. And this may not even, I'm just talking about in arguments form. But I think I would have to listen a little bit better, be a little bit more patient, and honestly, I just have to take a step back and jump out of my brain sometimes because I overthink. That's it. Honestly, that's it. I overthink a lot. All right, honey. So what do you think I can do to be a better communicator within our marriage?
Paragraphs on paragraphs when we fight. And I can't interrupt anything, so I forget everything I'm gonna say, every rebuttal. I wish you just didn't speak in soliloquies.
So basically, what do you want me to do? Not speak?
No, I want you to speak, but damn, get to the point quicker or something. I don't know.
But I feel sometimes there is a paragraph that's warranted.
No, she's an actress, so she has to have a screenplay of thoughts to argue.
That is not true.
And like she said, she's a lawyer, so she has her case and her notes and shit in her head.
But at the same time, I feel that I do that, especially with us, because you don't listen and because you always are thinking.
If it's Cliff Notes and it's a shorter sentence, I would listen to that sentence. If it's a whole fucking screenplay, I'm a doze off of certain spots.
Okay, you're right.
Alright, so how do you think I can get better at communicating or arguing, whatever?
I feel that you can pay more attention. So, for example, when I speak to you a lot of times, you'll be watching sports while I speak to you, and you're telling me that you're listening to me and that you're watching, but you're not a multitasker, and you know this. No, you're not. You told me. And also, it's just rude. So it riles me up more when I see you do that. So maybe paying attention and not listening to respond, but listening to understand.
We got
No, but you asked me. But I listen to respond. I mean, I listen to understand. No. I listen to understand. I do. I be I understand, but I'm not gonna understand when you're not right.
You're listening right now.
Yes, I am.
Well, I could be right to me. What you mean? You should see my point of how I'm right every argument, and then it'll be great. I don't know. Women win arguments because they are built for the battle. Guys just don't care to battle that long.
No.
Yes,
guys just weren't raised to speak on their feelings. Guys
no,
just wasn't.
Speak on my feelings. Y'all just built for the long haul. Bro.
No, but I'm just saying, imagine a world where men, I'm not talking about just you, I'm saying imagine a world where men were able to communicate better from a young age. They wouldn't have all of these hiccups and they would be exactly where we are, where women are.
Oh, yeah, what, petty?
No, we're not petty. I'm petty.
No, it's like, I don't know.
I'm not petty.
I would just fight to the end of the world.
But those points are valid and they stand the test of time within certain people's relationships. And a lot of these things, communication is a real big deal breaker for a lot of people. And I feel we communicate beautifully. I know we have arguments. We don't argue a lot, but when we do argue, it's heavy.
I miss our old fights because I was right a lot because she was mad jealous and I wasn't doing nothing. I miss those fights. Now,
you mean the...
Now I feel like I'm always wrong.
You mean the one where...
Whoa, we're not talking about that. On the next episode.
Guys, basically, moral of the story, we wanted to switch things up a little bit and shorten down the videos so that you guys have something quick and effective to watch and learn and understand and grow from. And even question yourselves.
She's working her editing skills, different ways, keeping it spicy instead of just sitting on a table talking. Maybe the next one will.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Bring it back old school. But we want to remind you that when you do communicate, be present, be in the moment, listen to the person that is there with you. Don't listen with all these thoughts in mind and all of these accusations and assumptions. Be open. And it doesn't always have to be a battle. Sometimes it's okay. Let's normalize.
Well, it depends.
Let's normalize growing though, right?
Yeah. But if you're battling to reach the same goal, then sometimes it could get fiery. But as long as you have the same goal in mind, and it's just things that might bother you about that person, or maybe they're not motivated, and as long as you're trying to reach a common goal and that's what you're fighting towards, it's worth the fight.
Let's normalize growing from a conversation. For example, let's say I was wrong in a situation and I'm still working on this, but I feel that within this relationship, I have been the most successful from my past.
And the most wrong.
No, I have not. You've been the most wrong. You have. You have. Normalize owning when you're wrong. It's okay.
And you didn't admit when she was. I said you're always wrong. You just say you're not wrong.
But I'm not always wrong.
So you're not normalizing it then.
That's not what I mean. You see? And I know he's doing this for fucking devil's advocate. You're doing this?
What you preach.
No. You have anything else that you want to add to this beautiful video?
No. Just keep communication lines open. As soon as you lose the communication, you lose the relationship, you lose the trust, you lose everything. So just communicate, make sure you're telling the partner when you're not happy, but also make sure you're telling them when you are happy.
Always.
That's it. That's all we got. See you next week.
Bye, guys.